For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
NewsSpin is the best. Listen up. NewsSpin is the best. Me say listen up massive. NewsSpin is the best, yeah. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show. All across the world. Check the signal, it blaze up the airwave. NewsSpin on your radio, hear me now. Tune in the frequency, come along, Junior. NewsSpin a vice up the play. NewsSpin is the best. Listen to the masses. NewsSpin is the best. Knowledge must abound. NewsSpin is the best. Fancy moon knock a play way. NewsSpin is the best. Papa Bonje by team, all man. A crappy land all across the globe. Echoes of voices, we join in hand. How many rising with the afternoon sun? Come along, NewsSpin has begun. NewsSpin is the best. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitor talk show in the world. The true facts about Sophia volcano, Sandy Beach, banana and Sneam Mango. Voices from the chat room, the capital Castries Hills. We feel you on Caribbean breeze. Teaching the truth, making hearts feel ease. Knowledge must open up every mind. Learn about your island home. We leave no one behind. NewsSpin on your radio. Pull up the volume, Joe. NewsSpin on your radio. Pull up your seats. Afternoon time. NewsSpin on your radio. Come along. NewsSpin on your radio. Let the message strong. for all. From city streets to mountains tall. Learn your history, share your dreams. Together we light me world with our hymns. NewsSpin is the best. Better than every talk show. The most conscious monitored talk show in the world.
Youths, they call you leaders of tomorrow, but the leaders of yesterday have locked the door and swallowed the key like stubborn landlords. They refuse to leave, yet they keep shouting, "Wait your turn," like a queue that never moves no matter how long you stand. They bring one basket of rice to your mother, and suddenly it becomes a national project with cameras, microphones, and plenty grammar. 30 people eat small rice, and they announce 10 billion spent. Even the calculator begins to cough from confusion. And you celebrate like you just won the World Cup, dancing in the sun while your future is quietly packing its bags. Wake up, people, because this is not empowerment. This is magic trick politics, where your hunger disappears only in their speeches.
Welcome to another week of the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. It's on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. Here comes the request. Please like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. We're together until 2 o'clock this afternoon. I'll be hearing from you in just a moment at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Jante is here, and she's already going through your comments in the chat rooms, and we'll have some updates to share with you. Some more of the same. Not that I suspect that you care, but the island has recorded a few more homicides since our last program on Friday. And why I believe that you don't care anymore, not that you're heartless, not that you're not paying attention, but you have become very much used to hearing one homicide, 2 homicides, 3 homicides. You've become inured to this. And that, I tell you, is unacceptable. I won't use the usual, it's unfortunate. Because when we do that, when we say it's unfortunate, we're not taking this situation seriously. It's as if, you know what you normally would hear from your grandmother? La vie nous, c'est la vie pour. Our life is that, it's equal to that of a chicken. Chicken has died, so what? Let's move on. Let's go on to the bon temps. On the horizon, we have what? St. Lucia Jazz, and then we have the Carnival, and we have all kind of activities that are not, we shouldn't say they're not important, but unfortunately, they are distracting us from the real issues. And so, according to the police, at 6 a.m. on Saturday, they responded to a shooting over in La Clery. There they discovered the lifeless body of an 18-year-old Chan Jr. Dante Clavier. 18 years old. 18 years old. Already shot and killed. Whether he was a good boy, whether he was a bad boy, I don't care. The reality is we ought to be a country where we abide with the laws of our nation. We go according to the laws. We ought to have a functioning judiciary. So, if that is the case, very often, not in all cases, very often what would happen is you have some kind of squabble with someone that necessitates some kind of resolution. Of course, you seek the intervention of the police and the police within a reasonable time frame ought to respond, and we take it from there. Arrested, charged if possible, hauled before the courts, and there's something called mediation as well. So that's the first homicide over the weekend. On Sunday, no respite on Sunday. 10 minutes before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, shooting at Bexon. 22-year-old Michael Joanne Bernard of Santa Fe, Sarah Castries, died on the scene. 22 years old. 10 minutes before 3 on Sunday. One other person shot and injured was transferred to a medical facility where he died moments later. Identified as what? 23-year-old James Toussaint of Bexon. How old? As I said, 23. So, Saturday, 18-year-old, his lifeless body discovered. Then on Sunday, that of a 23-year-old man dies on the scene. 23. All right. And that should be 22. Shooting, 22-year-old dies on the scene. And then the 23-year-old, he dies at hospital. 18, 22, 23. And we are at, I'm told, homicide number 18 so far for this year. Maybe we'll hear a different figure from the NewsSpin statistician. And this does not bother those who are elected to improve our lives. Those through their actions can determine whether we remain alive or not. And irrespective of whether you want to say that individual or this individual, they were not good boys or good men, believe you me, that is irrelevant. We are here. People who call themselves law-abiding citizens, the police, those who are in authority, those who have the portfolios of Home Affairs and National Security and all that, and Prime Minister and Minister of this and Minister of that, part of the cabinet, their responsibility is to maintain law and order in our country. Right now, when they go overseas and they're speaking to Sanusians in the diaspora, they lie to those people. And they say that you believe that things are out of hand in the country. That's not the case, they say, to our Sanusians. And I think some of these Sanusians in the diaspora swallow this hook, line, and sinker. Why? Because they want to support their party, whichever party that is in office. But what is happening in our country right now is unacceptable. We are not managing ourselves properly. We are not managing our resources. And our resources include what? The people. They tell you the most precious resource that we have in St. Lucia, the people. Are we managing our resources? We're not managing the water that we have to the extent we have to import water from Dominica. And I just listen how this sounds in Creole. Jodi jou, nou ni pou acheter de l'eau from Dominique. How does that sound to you? Again, we have to use that word. Unacceptable. And no one takes responsibility for those things. Very soon, budget debate, discussion or debate on the revenue of estimates, expenditure, what have you. And what would be said? The economy has expanded. You just have a group of naysayers in St. Lucia. Some people will call me and say, Tim, why don't you focus on the positives in our country? So you block a beach, you block a section of our beach, don't focus on that. Gives the impression that the government it is not doing anything good. You focus on homicide after homicide because almost no other talk show in St. Lucia will report on those things. So you must join the bandwagon, join those other talk shows in St. Lucia. And let's just focus on the fact that, you know, the economy is growing, you know, donations are being made here and there, and, you know, you have all kind of handouts. Those are good things. Report on those things. Well, I am not following the herd. Castigate me if you want, but I don't think you can say that I'm spreading false news. What I'm into is, you cannot accuse me of being in misinformation and disinformation and so on. I'm reporting the news. I'm reporting the facts. And you cannot, no matter how you want to, you can call me all kind of names. I really and truly don't care. But I'm reporting on what is happening in our country. And those people who are turning a blind eye to those issues, I'm merely reminding you that the reality is that there are a number of things happening in St. Lucia that should be attended to, that is crying out for attention. You remember that discussion we had on Friday? And reference was made to Government Senator Alison Jean, and then the exchange she had, embarrassing exchange she had with Opposition Senator Dominic Fede. And then we had an esteemed caller. And there was talk about a conflict of interest. How you have somebody serving as the CEO, Chief Executive Officer of the NURC, National Utilities Regulatory Commission. And she is also a government senator. Now, there many of you would choose not to recall, not to remember. I will not play you a clip to remind you, but I'll only say to you that NewsSpin was the only talk show a few years ago who made reference to that conflict of interest issue. We made reference to it. We made reference to the legislation that said or says that this is unacceptable, should be avoided, it should not be done. No one paid attention. But years later, we are making reference to this same issue. So we are always in denial. Long after the fact, we now revisit the consequences of us not playing by the rule when it suits us. So, let's play you that exchange between the two senators, and that is Opposition Senator Dominic Fede and Government Senator Alison Jean. I think somewhere in there as well you'll hear from that esteemed caller.
The NURC that was involved in the process, we knew it had a capable CEO at the time, and we knew, Mr. President, that the framework that was put in place, Mr. President, required the then CEO of the NURC to sign off all the objections to payment. Mr. President, the former CEO of the NURC went as even far as capping the project at $60 million. Mr. President, was
Mr. President, on a point of order.
Senator, yes, Senator. Yes, Senator.
Mr. President, the member is again misleading the House and putting my name in disrepute. As the CEO of the NURC, I did not cap the project. The NURC has a board of directors. The NURC is a regulatory organization. So he cannot put me as the one capping the project. I take very grave offense to what he said. He needs to retract it and apologize for what he said.
Sorry, well, he didn't mention any specific names, but I take the point, Senator.
A few moments later.
Contribution with regards to the capping of the dredging fee?
Yes.
A few observations. One, as CEO of the NUC, Miss Senator Alison Shaw would have been the person who would have put a recommendation to the board recommending the capping of the dredging fee, and the board would have acted on her instruction.
Okay, so why are you saying that? That's standard procedure?
Yes, that's how corporate governance works. The board responds to recommendations put before it. And I can say to you unequivocally that Alison Shaw would have put a recommendation to the board requiring them to consider the capping of the dredging fee, and they would have gone forward based on her recommendation. And I'm calling on members of the board in the person of Mr. Lawrence Nove, if that information is wrong, to come forward and to say that that is not it. But I can say to you, Timothy, this is the procedure for corporate governance. You've got a CEO who is responsible for operations. Something as the capping of the board, it would not move from the board. It would move from the CEO, the secretariat of the commission, to the board. That is one. Secondly, it is interesting because I recall, and if you go back to the what you would call the genesis, the establishment of the NUC, this was Jimmy Fletcher's brainchild. And all of the articles, they are right there if you do a Google search. The NUC is meant to be an independent regulator. So we also now have a conflict of interest where you have a CEO who was CEO of the independent regulator whilst also serving as a government senator. I don't know of any other regulators, utility regulators in the region where you would find a CEO being aligned politically. As the regulator, your role is to facilitate the economic development and to encourage the various contributions from stakeholders, of which the government would be one. So it is certainly what I would call a breach of governance and just the basic rule of regulation, utility regulation, any kind of independent regulation, that you would have the CEO also sitting as a government-aligned senator whilst holding that post.
And I've said it before many times on your show. It's the arrogance of that particular senator, Senator Shaw. I've talked about it many times. And a lot more is expected of her, bearing in mind her history, personal and official. A lot better is expected of her. She obviously wants to come off as being one of the brightest sparks, and she probably is. That doesn't take much. But you know, so many times the woman was less interested in accountability in terms of what Dominic Fede was saying. And when Dominic Fede in his capacity is talking there, I mean, you're supposed to be leaning over backwards to give clear answers, unambiguous answers, because you're not really talking to Dominic Fede. You are talking to the people of this country to whom you owe accountability, both in your situation of the CEO thing and as the Senate. But over and over, she kept interrupting and asking for personal apologies and her good name and I so-and-so genre. I mean, this is arrogance, palpable arrogance. Those people have to understand that when they're in the House, it's not their personal thing or their emotions or their feelings anybody gives a damn about. What we want to know is accountability, how every cent is spent. The country is in serious trouble for years of this poor accountability, and the people who are ready to just eat any crap on the big.
Just so they're from a frequent contributor to NewsSpin, Rick Wayne, and before him, you had the exchange between the two senators, one on the side of the government, Alison Jean, and opposition Senator Dominic Fede, and you also heard from a particular caller, esteemed, described as an esteemed female caller. We open the lines right now to take your calls at 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Standing by with her first update is Jante. First, we have a WhatsApp message. Tim, I'm writing you this message with a heavy heart. I'm pleading for help with my brother, Irvin Japierre of Banslabry. He's mentally disturbed, and I'm begging the government, whenever they take him to the wellness center, leave him there. I'm willing to pay. Tim, my brother is very dangerous to the society. He is taking people's belongings, and they are beating him up, which is not a solution for beating a mental person. The last straw, he went and put fire under my 80-year-old sister's home, and she is blind. I'm very worried about my sister. I'm begging the authorities to hear my cry. Lucita Jean-Pierre, thank you in advance. Well, we hope the authorities will intervene on your behalf, ma'am. They sound like an individual who is clearly in need of assistance. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Somebody says there, good day. I want to say a big thank you for the Wasco team that worked so hard to make sure our water problem and pipeline got fixed on Sunday. By last night, everyone got water. Big thank you to you guys. I don't know which area you are referencing, but thank you so much for that WhatsApp message. And another person says, Tim, where is Vanguard? I think if they don't return God, Elvis Thomas should be the island's police commissioner. As reported, Mr. Vanguard's contract expired earlier this month. And let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, somebody says the Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote in the Psalm of Life, be not like dumb, driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. That's according to a WhatsApp message. We have a call. Good afternoon. You on the air?
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim, and your host, everybody listening around the Caribbean, around the national community. Until last week, the word that was Wasco, which is justified. The people frustrated. But then let us settle down and see how we're moving forward, right? I'm a Wasco. I think the engineer came on your program on Newsmaker Live, 4 or 5 years ago, and he said exactly what the problem. Old infrastructure, archaic, and the pipelines, you change one pipe, is a boost. So Wasco is, there's a border, there is authority above Wasco, right? They have not received the pipelines yet, the new pipelines yet, and they needed $100-something million.
Okay.
I mean, we did a CIP, $1.5 million. Why Wasco wasn't giving the new infrastructure? Then we can blame them. All right. Now moving forward, the rivers are drying up because why? Farmers have planted their crops, even bananas, right at the edge of the riverbed. Right. So nobody has. I haven't heard anybody speak about rehabilitation of a riverbed, forestry, agriculture. There are trees that are indigenous in the ecosystem to plant these trees back. We can do it on a national level, on a national holiday. Let us rehabilitate the riverbeds, plant the right trees by the riverbeds, and then I think there's a law. But if there's a law enforcing that you cannot plant within maybe 800 meters, from the river, and let us start to rehabilitate our riverbeds and the rivers, and then we can increase in water. My other concern is the storage capacity of Wasco. I had a lady say on TBS, we need more rain. Even if it rains for 3 weeks, for a month, 40 days, the next day Wasco will have no water. Why? Because the storage capacity is insufficient. We have storage. I think we need, in every district of St. Lucia, the government should be proactive, build storage tanks for me, thousands of gallons of water in every district. So we need
So Colin, basically all the water harvesting the Prime Minister is saying that members of the public should engage in, it ought to have started with the water and sewage company. Ought to have started with Wasco.
Yes, but
because for years now, for decades, maybe centuries, St. Lucians have been engaging in water harvesting. All right, so Wasco has to do it.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, but in the finance have to come to above the government, and we need to restore our rivers. So the riverbeds have to be rehabilitated, plant the trees along the riverbeds on a national level. On a holiday, we all go out and plant the proper trees and rehabilitate our rivers and increase our water storage capacity, and also change the finance for the archaic pipelines and system. You understand? And that is the way to go forward. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Somebody says that Alison Jean should resign because she was doing something illegal, and she should be honest enough to step down for wrongdoing or fired by the Prime Minister immediately. I don't know what wrongdoing that you are referencing, caller. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim, what do you think as the Iran versus Israel, US-Iran war crushed the intentions of our Prime Minister to replace Fern God? We're not mentioning names. I don't know what Iran, Israel, and US war has to do with that. I believe the authorities are treading very cautiously. I am not in the mind of the Prime Minister. I don't know what his intentions are. Hopefully, he would have addressed that issue earlier today, or even as we speak, during the pre-cabinet press briefing, because something is obviously wrong with the expiration of the police commissioner's contract and not hearing from officialdom who is acting as St. Lucia's police commissioner. We have not been told. We have not been informed. We don't know, when clearly that is our business. I shouldn't the Home Affairs Ministry or whichever ministry that's responsible not inform us, not say to us, so-and-so is acting police commissioner. So if something happens nationally, if a national security issue arises or surfaces, we know who is at the helm of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. As we speak, we don't know. We are ignorant of that fact. What we know, and I think it's been reported via the DBS News World and NewsSpin, is that Mr. Vern's guard contract expired. We don't know who is acting as the police commissioner in St. Lucia. Maybe for them that is not important, but as a citizen, I think you ought to be in the know. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, we definitely have a leadership issue. Let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, I totally agree with Rick. Alison Jean is the most arrogant individual I have ever known in my entire life. Also, she's a very ungrateful person because she never shown any gratitude to Alan Chastanet for his support after the loss of her son. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Let's see there. Please bear with me. All right. Somebody says there, good afternoon, Tim. If the fool fool the foolish, what do you think the country can ever go forward? All right. So the NewsSpin statistician is on the line. I'm sure you're looking forward to hearing from him. Good afternoon to the NewsSpin statistician. You're on the air, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm all right. How about you?
Okay, I'm fine. Jandy, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
You don't sound good, Jandy. Anyway, go ahead.
When you closed down on Friday, what was your homicide total?
What you gave me, I think, was what, 17?
I wasn't the one who gave you 17, Tim. Somebody sent you that in the chat room.
Yes. And somebody sent it to me via WhatsApp. It was actually a police officer who sent me that information.
I am aware who it was. So I confirmed that I missed one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It was 17. So if we had Junior Clave at the Clary on Saturday morning,
that would be 18.
Mm-hmm.
That would be 18.
Yes.
And then 2 more.
And one Bernard and James Toussaint at Dexter.
Mm.
How can it be 18?
Yeah. Well, we are relying on the information from the police. What I got from the police.
I understand. 18. I understand
yes.
it.
Yeah.
But now you've rolled out the names of those guys. We have Zacchaeus from Conway. Some news media says Conway, some say Darling Road. It's one and the same, right? But there's a mysterious happening surrounding the one at La Panse. He's a youthful young man, and we are yet to get a name for him.
Yeah.
I can understand one for the one at Canals. It was a decomposing body. I guess DNA have to be involved. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But the one at La Panse, everybody knows who he is, and the police are yet to give an identification for him. You understand him?
Yeah.
Because I have all the names listed, except these two. The one at Canals, and the one at La Panse. I have Daniel Noville from Domel in Deriso. I have Jacqueline Hippolyte from Badini, who was killed at Badi Chaussee. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I have Bitterville from Ancillary. Girani Joseph from Ciceron. All is a part of the last 11 homicides we've had in this country. What is the secret about the name of the young man from La Panse? What is the secret? Okay, Tim?
Yes, sir.
Now, Tim, another issue. I'm not going to get entangled in any kind of religious affairs and things so, but I heard some news over the weekend where a particular denomination hosted a church service yesterday in Beaufort. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Celebrating the lull in crimes, major crimes in Beaufort.
Mm-hmm.
I would have liked to applaud them if they would have celebrating a lull in crime in general for the nation. But Tim, homicide number 2, Roderick Creek, happened in Beaufort South. Homicide number 6, Kenton Henry, happened in Beaufort South in January. So where's the lull? I don't know what game is being played. But out of the 20 homicides we've had for the year to date, and there's still some question mark over the one at Banan, and those we are yet to identify. I don't know what the church is all about. So I'm not going to get mixed up with my brothers Inch and other religious persons, especially Queen Mary and others. But the church needs to get the right thing. Thank you, David.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for calling. We have a notice. St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, Lucelec, wishes to inform customers that there will be an interruption in the electricity supply on Wednesday of this week, March the 25th, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., affecting Patience, Cooley Town, Sainte-Marie, La Pointe, and Lombard. This interruption is necessary to allow Lucelec to undertake pole and line maintenance in Patience, Mon Repos. Once again, Lucelec wishes inform customers that there will be an interruption in the electricity supply on Wednesday, March the 25th, 2026, between 11 o'clock in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, affecting Patience, Cooley Town, Sainte-Marie, La Pointe, and Lombard. This interruption is necessary to allow Lucelec to undertake pole and line maintenance in Patience, Mon Repos. We have a call via WhatsApp. Hello, good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. I think we lost this call. Let's try again. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon.
Good day, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
So, you've ever heard about the story about the naked truth?
Yeah.
Okay. So, nobody likes the naked truth. Why? Because it's literally naked, Tim. When they see the truth passing around, he has no clothes. Everybody frowns, at his presence. And this is what's happening. I've never seen, I made one comment, I challenged one individual, and then all of a sudden I've been insulted. I will not mention the name, but they are doing exactly what they've been accusing St. Lucians of doing for many years. However, let's leave that alone. Tim, I have an issue. And my issue is for over 5 years now, over 6+ years plus for whatever time it was that this mini stadium was built in Soufrière, Tim. I went there in the Island Champs last year. And when I reached there, I was really, really not happy. Tim, because I saw nothing. They never completed the stands, nothing. The athletes had to be on bare ground, Tim. And so this time around, they decided to bring the event to Bon Séjour. Now listen to that, Tim. We are preparing our athletes to do what? To represent us on the world stage. And the closest thing to them is Carif Turk. Tim, we took these children from an artificial track where they could get real times in their sprint and to bring them and run on grass, Tim. In 2026, we brought our children, our athletes who are supposed to be representing us on the national stage to run on grass in the name of bringing it up north too. You understand me? And then we made a petty excuse as the condition of the stadium at Soufrière. Tim, why is it necessary that the stadium at Soufrière is in the state that it is today? Who is responsible? You telling me one administration brought it to a certain level. All the other one had to do was to complete in the name of our children, Tim. They have neglected that place for the longest while. The $80 million, I understand, was to work on these things as well. What has happened to that money? All the money that was spent during elections. And look, I'm hearing Carnival going to get how much millions? 100 million or so. And Tim, instead of fixing the place in Soufrière, you're talking about now bringing a track in the north. We cannot even maintain the ones we have. The two we have, the stadium in view for the 260 or whatever million dollars was supposed to go on it as well. What has happened to that money, Tim? We cannot maintain those grounds, yet still you talking about building another one in the north. The only one thing we had in the south, bringing a little event in the south, you have to bring it up talking about more parents in the north when it's obvious that you have more athletes in the south because Viewfort was always bringing that competition to a certain level because of the amount of students that they had. You understand, Tim? And here's the other insult to me as well as an individual, Tim. You telling me we had a school competition to facilitate convent. They remove it from a school competition and they made it a girls against boys competition. Now, here's the short thing before I leave. Every school, let's just say every school has at least 300 children, Tim. You have Binfield who will have maybe 150 boys, 150 girls. Let's just, for number's sake, let's just go with it like that. But you have Convent, which have now 300 girls, Tim. So, for the last 4 years, Convent have been winning the girls' side of the competition. But hear that, Tim. For the next 10, 15, 20 years, Convent will continue winning. Why? Because they have more girls than all the other schools. So when a school have only one participant in a particular race, or maybe none, they have almost all the races, they have 2 teams because they have the same amount of girls that every school have with the same amount of boys. In fact, they have the double amount of the girls in every school. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
So they can never lose that competition, team. They can never lose it. So you create something now to accommodate one school. When you have college is more academics. They do sports. They do a lot of sports. But it's like for me, what I'm seeing with them right now, they're more pushing academics. But it was supposed to be a competition between schools. Now you cancel that completely just to accommodate one school.
Well, colleague don't know why they did it. There's need for you to find out why they did it in the first place instead of reaching assumption.
Information reaching me. they will have to come out and tell me, no, I was wrong. But why should you remove a competition where it was all about the schools? And Vieux-Fort Compris was dominating that competition, because Vieux-Fort Compris, a lot of our athletes in the South, that is where they go to. And Vieux-Fort Compris has a program that basically boosts, you understand, that encourages that part of it. They put a lot. If you look at their uniforms, if you look at everything, they push and they put a lot into their athletes. You understand? So that would obviously give them a push forward. You understand? But on the case of St. Mary's and not St. Mary's, St. Mary's College and
St. Joseph's Convent.
Yes, they just cannot. If they have to leave it on a school level, they just cannot meet winning any of these competitions, because they are only boys and only girls schools. You understand? But they had to, in order to facilitate them, they had to do what they do there right now, put it a boys against girls thing. Now, I don't have a problem with that, But I'm saying the politics in the schools, in what's happening in our school sports right now, is too much. To remove their children on a track where they could meet the times. You understand? To represent St. Lucia. You go in and put them at Bon Séjour. Just for what? Just to say that you bring up the amount of money they paid Marshall Mountain or whatever his team. Couldn't that money go towards the stadium in Soufrière? Everything, this thing is not about us, the adults team. It's supposed to be about the students. Getting them to get a scholarship, getting them to go somewhere in life. You understand? We're taking these things in St. Lucia right now too personal, too much politics in our sports. Anyway,
all right, caller.
Enough said.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Good afternoon to you, Jante. Let's find out what is happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, "We need a reporter on the last gun amnesty. Tell us how many firearms were brought in. Too many guns in this country." Another YouTube comment reading, "Can't y'all see that there is a plan, a benefit, a reason why these young men, the future of the nation, are being eliminated? This is the responsibility of the government to intervene." Moving to Facebook, our first comment reads, "A lot of dead bodies in the South. Condolences to the family. Tim, sooner or later PJP will have to get men from Timbuktu, since all our young men are being gunned down." We have another comment saying, "Young men, put the guns down. There's more to life. One homicide is one too many." Tim, you have a new lawyer. Now you have a new criminal investigator. AA Tim. A few more comments reading, "And we still playing the blame game. People, if St. Lucia don't turn to God, things will not change. Tim, PJP's job is to provide the police with water skis. The people, only when it is elections time." We have another comment here reading, "How can the government stop killing?" Lucilek, Wasco, I don't know where they come from. Box making the news all in Barbados. Box is the new Gabi. We have a few more comments from our Facebook page saying, "Island champs did not even have a decent podium for the kids to receive their medals. I think we should think before we speak. They're all aligned, be it public knowledge or private." We have another comment here saying, "My thoughts exactly. They keep breaking the law and nothing happens for it. Guilty. They always feel guilty. Good thing I have no name, much less a good name." Another comment saying, "St. Lucia has such a lawless country, arrogant politicians, huge egos, and they solving nothing. She has no good name, troops. They work for us and they don't want us to know how they spend our monies. The chain reaction is already in motion with the SLP. The only thing left is for them to self-destruct." We have another comment here saying, "Are the social workers attached to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to help respond to these types of calls? Some callers are so refreshing and enlightening. It is a pleasure to listen to them. Now caller, listen. I hear people saying island champs could have been brought to the South. Listen, both North and South need their own island champs. Thank you very much." Another NewsSpin is saying, "The month is almost done and a decision hasn't been taken to renew the contract of Vanguard or let him go his merry way? Huh? Tim, Wasco has a big blue pipeline since when Fresh Start was doing the 4-lane highway. Furthermore, you can go to Union or Beausejour to see for yourself what pipes Wasco has been using. Tim, you must give both figures, the official police figures and the NewsSpin statisticians' figures. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. Once again, Lucelec, the St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, wishes to inform customers that there will be an interruption in the electricity supply on Wednesday, March the 25th, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., affecting Patience, Cooley Town, Saint Marie, La Pointe, and Lombard. This interruption is necessary to allow Lucelec to undertake pole and line maintenance in Patience, Mon Repos. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
What happens when the music is stripped down to the truth? On April 29th, First National Bank presents the Teddyson John Experience at the luxurious Royalton Resorts. Raw vocals, live music, real emotion, an intimate night where Teddyson John opens the heart of the music. Also from Trinidad and Tobago, featuring Nyla Blackman. From St. Lucia, Michael Robinson. Herb Black. I'm so sorry. Umpa. And Ricky T. Sharing their stories behind the songs and connects with you up close. This is more than a concert. It's a feeling. Stripped, April 29th. Royalton Resorts, limited seats. One unforgettable night. It's definitely my type of night and my type of vibes.
Tickets for this event are $100 USD. Food and drinks inclusive. Ticket locations: Anthony's Jewelry, Castries and Baywalk, The Wave, and online fourcirclestickets.com.
Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with Lucelec. No more paper, no more mess. Easy billing, no stress. Use my account to pay online. Pay your bill at any time. Get the stress off your mind. No more standing in line.
Visit Lucelec.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless. Use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with Lucelec.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
So fast pay, a new and easy way to pay. So fast pay, so fast pay.
You asked for it and you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay.
So fast pay, 2 minutes and you're on your way. So fast pay, so fast pay.
Flow is keeping you connected.
Chronic back pain, arthritis, spinal injuries, nerve disorders, even painful cramps. These conditions affect daily life, but you don't have to live with pain. Every day matters when it comes to your health. At La Clinique du Corps, we provide fast, accurate diagnosis with advanced GE certified MRI technology and internationally recognized specialists. Our focus is safe, effective treatment that restores mobility, relieves pain, and gives you back your quality of life. Call 451-6559 today. 451-6559. La Clinique du Corps, because time is vital in health.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexar, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
The ultimate Easter Sunday experience is coming as Optimum Events presents Rise 6 Azul. Rise 6 Azul. Shades of blue and unforgettable energy featuring Soca sensation Vaughn.
Everybody know what our behavior. From July reach in Grenada.
Vaughn live.
Just take a shot when they see me dog. I want to get drunk for the carnival.
The Grenadian bad boy, Vaughn. Also, Ezra, Sly, and the Impulse Band, alongside the best DJs. Easter Sunday, 3 p.m. The Soufre Stadium comes alive. Tickets, $120 regular. More at the door. VIP, $400. Available at the Cell Outlets island-wide. Wings of Love in Castries. Mambo's Bar in Soufre. Or online at fourcirclestickets.com. Powered by VAC Event Production. Power 97.9 FM. Heineken. Bank of St. Lucia. Courts. Bounty Rum. J.P. Shennett. And Blue Waters. On Easter Sunday, we rise.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. Some suggestions regarding what we should be discussing today on this broadcast. Somebody says, moving a little away from the political dialogue, but the collective needs to discuss how we honor our St. Lucian icons. We always wait until they are dead and gone, and even in their absence, we do a lackadaisical job in keeping their memories alive. Another person suggested was the hold up on opening a finished St. Jude Hospital. Yet another comment, has the changes been done to former intersect event improve it, or is slowly losing its true meaning? And somebody says there, the need to spend thousands on Bacchanal and the healthcare system is very poor. Some of the recommendations regarding what we should be discussing on the most monitored talk show in the world. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. WhatsApp message, somebody says there, Tim, they should have SJC and SMC compete together as one school. This is the way they used to organize some of the inter-schools competitions some years ago, such as the quadrille competition. And the person continues, as much as I'm a convent girl, I'm all for fairness. The other schools should boycott the whole thing because they've given SJC an unfair advantage. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says there, St. Lucia has too many people in the wrong position, but the person actually put round position. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another person says there via WhatsApp, it says there, just bear with me. Okay, let's see if we get another one. Tim, I agree with you 1,000,000% in your opening remarks. You were on point. You hit the nail on the head. May God continue to bless and guide you. Another WhatsApp message, and let's see that it says, first victim, 16-year-old Omar Joseph, stabbed in Castries on January the 2nd. Second victim, 66-year-old Norbert Crick, found dead on the old base. Third victim, 25-year-old Level Albert, stabbed in Castries January 15th. Fourth victim, Jamari Joseph, shot and killed in Miku 17th January. Fifth victim, 37-year-old security officer Cesar Bascom, shot and killed in Leclerc. Sixth victim, body was found at Sandy Beach, 25th of January, Lancico. And good day, the person said, I started this in January, but I decided to stop. Never expected for the numbers to again become a problem as early as March 2026. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Another person says that, Tim, what is this caller saying? For years, both SMC and SJC had been disadvantaged because they are all boys and all girls schools. Many suggestions had been made in the past to merge the schools for this competition, but to no avail. All that has been done is that they have restricted to have a boys competition and a girls competition. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we have some more of your messages. Let's see there. Okay, just bear with me. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, good afternoon. I hastily agree that the next best person for the post of police commissioner of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force is that of the person of Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Elvis Thomas. He is in fact the one recognized by the international community, including the USA. I have worked with the officers at the helm of the executive of the police force and strongly suggest Mr. Elvis Thomas for the post. It is time that we go past the political appointments. As a police officer myself, I have seen it happening over the years, where the political parties appoint the person that they are comfortable with in the post and not necessarily selecting the candidate with the best interests of the citizen. If we are interested in our country's development and the smooth functioning of the RSLPF, I readily suggest the person of Mr. Elvis Thomas. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see there. Okay. We have some more of your messages. A comment with the statistician calls a suggestion to have a table of information that he provides as his display pic on the screen. And whenever he's done giving new information, update the table for the next time. Yes, great suggestion. Thank you so much, ma'am. Another one says, Tim, Ronald Phillip is currently acting in the capacity of police commissioner because last week he promoted special police constables to police constables. Well, I saw no such press release indicating that Mr. Phillip will serve as the island's acting police commissioner. Another person says, Tim, the acting commissioner completes the dirty job of appointing all the government's friends, then Vern will return as commissioner of police. Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message. We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Good afternoon.
Hi, Tim. Good day. How are you doing?
I'm okay,
yes,
sir.
Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Tim, I have a little problem with I have two issues I'll raise. Our statistician usually call and give information, and not just numbers he's giving names. And you know him, I know him.
Yeah.
And the guy seemed to be very accurate. Our last murder stats for 2025 fell about 12 short. Listen to me well. 12 short. 12 names shorter than what the statistician and other people who keep records have. What does that say about the police accounting system and the information that they give, Tim? It doesn't paint a good light, a good picture. So far this year, we've seen the same trend. The police is about 5 or more.
Well, according to the
homicides.
According to the NewsSpin statistician, it is 20. But officially according to the
And
police,
he's right.
according to the police, it is 18. So don't say 5.
And he's right.
Mm.
And he's right, Tim, and he's right. Now, I don't know. Usually the police would feature or class a police shooting as separate from homicide, from that number, that total. But a police shooting is a homicide still. So I don't know. And if they have not done that this year, it is still even higher. You know what I'm saying, Tim?
When you say it's higher, that means what? Can you provide us with a breakdown? You should be in a position to provide it for a breakdown instead of just saying it is higher.
No, what I'm telling you is if this year they have not listed police shootings, because we've had at least one police shooting.
Yeah.
If they have not listed that police shooting in the general statistics, it means that it is even one less than what we're looking at. In fact, one more, adding to what we have. But that's another issue. One more issue, Tim. I spoke the last time on your program about a situation where I believe Mr. Shalry, what I did was to announce Mr. Shalry as my pick for Commissioner of Police on the basis that he is far senior to the other deputy. He has more experience in the office, and the fact that he have been acting with the past 3 commissioners. And then I made a statement, which was my personal view, as to why Mr. Shalry is not being considered for commissioner, which is strictly political. I make no bones about that. And that is because of the incident with the COVID match and Claudius Francis attack, continuous verbal attack on the deputy. Now, Mr. Richard Frederick took the opportunity to take me on his show, but I can fire back 100 times. Mr. Richard Frederick knows that I have more files than him, and I have his files. So he went on to say, I'm a fool to suggest that he could have been arrested by Mr. Shalry on the day. And I say, well, if it was me, and I'm not even the Deputy Commissioner of Police, I would have arrested him. And he would have been charged, and nobody would have come to court to let him go. Because at the time, recall, he was not an MP, and he was not a government minister. He was just in the wilderness. We all know that, Tim. We can recall that. But the man forgot, in all his big talk and his big flash, the man forgot that on the very day he made a live, indicating that it was the commissioner, the DCP had him to move from the scene and so on because what he was doing was illegal. He claimed to have been an organizer of the event in that same live that he did. So the man is just, you can see how far the man is from reality. I don't know, this man seemed to be, the MP system has just gone into him. When he's a local boy on the block, he thinks better than when he's an MP. Because when he's an MP, he gives instructions and he do all kind of nonsense. So if he wants to take me on again, I have the clips, and the clips are available. I always tell them, he and Fridges and all of them on the other talk show. I always tell them, history is there, you know. Those clips are there, you know. Richard Frederick can hide, and I didn't write any book on Richard Frederick. The Labour Party wrote the book on Richard Frederick. But that's not for your show, Tim, because I have other avenues where I can spit more fire on it. But the man must know that he is not even relevant. I don't even waste my time so much talking about him. So I have always challenged him on your program. I want him to take me and tell me anything that I have said about him that's not true. And I'm being very, very, I have so much that I can say, but I only one thing he can do me. Only one thing he can do me. He's threatened to sue me. That's the only thing he can do. He's threatened to sue me. Any other thing he try, he will not work. Any other thing he would suggest that happened to me, it cannot work. I'm not a member of the force again. So I operate on my rules. I am operating on police rules now. What he said about me as a policeman, he can say it again. Because I can answer him now. I couldn't answer him then, but I can answer him now. So I look forward to him on Tuesday. And then I come in back 10 times harder on him. Thank you very much.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. Good afternoon to you, Jante. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, Flo, Wasco, it's like people work so hard for these companies to pay them, and yet there's no accountability on both parts when the service is really bad. Like, stop sucking the life out of people. What do we do when tourism can't be relied on anymore? Another YouTube comment reading, why is it so hard to get PJP and SLP to give an account of taxpayers' money? PJP and company acting as if it's their money and not that of the citizens of the country. Everything doesn't have to be about politics. That is how we are suffering, because it's always about that when someone is saying something to contribute about the livelihood of citizens. Moving to Facebook, our first comment reads, we face discrimination from the north in everything. St. Lucia seems to be from Cul-de-sac upwards. Please answer this. Where on the athletic stage do you have any race being conducted on grass? Tim, let's talk about St. Jude's. We have another comment saying, and caller, the grass not even marked right. The lanes were way too small. Square pegs in round holes. Tim, you're bad. Just when the caller said Super Stadium is a mess, you go and you play an ad about a fit in that stadium. We have a few comments reading, Tim, joining the schools is a way to get the north to appear more dominant. Alan Champs, north and south, that's all. Roro Fini. Therapist for commissioner. We have another comment reading, it's all transactional. They ask for their voice, money, and resources, and in turn, they get to sit on decision-making panels, which directly and positively affect their businesses. Well said, caller. Get your point. Makes sense. The professionals in sports should then have training and competition done in the right locations if we are to shine at the character level. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much for that update. Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages and the calls. Let's see if you have a call on the landline. In the meantime, we have a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, St. Lucia is 238 square miles and so many homicides for 2026. How many have been solved? This eyewitness come forward is a crap. The crime hotline phone should be in the commissioner's office. He would receive all information and pass it on to the various departments. It should not be at the police control room. St. Lucia has too many murderers walking the streets and nothing happening. It's a disgrace in St. Lucia. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Bermuda. You are on the line. Please go ahead with your contribution, caller. Mr. Bermuda, good afternoon to you, sir.
Thanks for taking my call in 1,000 times.
But weren't you on last week?
Tim.
Every time you call, sir, I try to facilitate you, okay?
Tim, you're talking to me, Tim. I be watching you on my device and call you on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I be trying by the time they call you, and nobody be calling at the same time. I can say that. But that's another show. Tim, a question for you. Why would England place us, St. Lucia, place our country in the same group as Nicaragua? First of all, what do you know about Nicaragua, Tim?
But caller, I have read this with regard to the information from the government of the UK website. I've dealt with this. I've dealt with this particular issue before.
So I'll ask you a question. What do you know about Nicaragua?
What I know about Nicaragua, well, a little bit. Noriega, drugs, gangs.
Daniel Ortega and those guys, right?
Yeah.
But the main thing is this here. No first world country has anything to do with Nicaragua. You know that? No first world country has anything to do with Nicaragua. So, and they place us with the same group, not in the other group, in the same group as St. Lucia and Nicaragua. Nicaragua is in the same group. Food for thought. Next thing, Richard Frederick. Did he say he couldn't get a plane? He couldn't get a seat on the flight going back or coming from? Something he said he couldn't get a seat. Something was what he said.
Yes, to travel to Canada.
Tim, let me say this to you. You know how many times I've been on international flights where the flight is full, you're on the plane, you're on the tarmac, and the hostess say, would someone like to get a seat? They're gonna put you up at a hotel and give you spending money. And everybody, listen, people put up two hands, not even one. So Richard Frederick comes to me with that. I'm not taking that. Because he says he's a money man, he got money. That's what people do, Tim. They do that all the time, Tim, on international flights. Would someone give the seat for someone? Someone need to take this flight for blah, 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 blah. Man, you see guys put up both hands, Tim. Take the seat, take the money, take the hotel, and enjoy the night. So what was the first trying to tell me? If he had done that, he would get a seat. Every time I've seen it done, somebody gave up the seat. And people ready to give up the seat. So what I think, Mr. Frederick is lying. Have a nice day.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for calling. This is the most monitored talk show in the world, where we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, good afternoon, Tim. Concerning Island Champs, I would like the Ministry of Education to clarify whether it's a school event or just a normal sports meet, and what's the reason for omitting the uniform aspect. That's according to a WhatsApp message. And another person says there, Tim, I really would like Miss Harak Singh or Dr. Harak Singh to explain to us what she means by the sign on the constituency office which reads, "One of us." I need her to explain. Okay, so, and the person actually sent a photograph of a picture, and beneath that picture is written the words, "One of us." All right, let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages to go through. And somebody says there, "I love Mr. Bermuda." Do we have any comments? Another WhatsApp message. Tim, a container just fell from a trailer truck on the 4-lane highway. And this would have occurred just a few minutes ago, maybe a few hours ago. And the person also said, Sunny Acres. All right, let's see if we have another WhatsApp message before we take yet another commercial break. Tim, there was a vast improvement in the FET or politics aspects of that sports meet, but I've not seen any improvement in the athletes, even when we have an Olympic champion. Yet another WhatsApp message, and it reads, Fede come to the house with his engine well oiled, and he made a mess out of Alison Jean. She could not escape from her lying self. Fede gave her a TKO. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. When we come back, yet another general election on the horizon, ahead of schedule in the Caribbean. Stay with us.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street, Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, casting sand and plastering sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true. With a mortgage built around you, tailored to make sure everything's smooth. 100% financing, it's true. Get a first wish mortgage, it's the best move. Get your mortgage now and fulfill your first wish. Just knowing that First National Bank is here for you. Let's make your first wish come true.
Visit your First National Bank branch or firstnationalbankonline.com to apply for your first wish mortgage.
La Clinique du Corps leads the Caribbean in advanced MRI, aligned with globally recognized standards. Avoid overseas stress, delays, and cancelled scans. Reports in 24 to 48 hours. No translation, no overseas processing. Your doctor receives your imaging directly for seamless continuity of care. All major insurance accepted. Call 451-6559. Once again, 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950. The WhatsApp number 721-9950.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
It's in the feeling and how we talk. It's in the meaning and our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are.
With
LucyLeg.com today and sign up to my account to pay your bill. Request a temporary or new connection or switch an account to your tenant's name. Do it all online.
Personal, paperless, use the virtual service desk. Are you ready? Get set. Let's go green with LucyLeg.
Art in the City is back, rooted in culture, bold in expression. Brought to you by the Cultural Development Foundation. On Friday, April 17th, the celebration begins in Beaufort. Art in the Street at the New Market Complex from 10 a.m., followed by readings and rhythms at 7 p.m. On April 24th and 25th, indulge in the Icon Series 4-course gala dinner at Sandals Grand, honoring culinary master Edward Chef Harry Joseph. On April 26th and 27th, theater lovers gather at Warehouse 11 for Don't Call Me Baby Doll, written and directed by Travis Weeks. Or head to the Caribbean Cinemas for screenings from the Jumpstart Film Project. From April 27th to May 16th, experience Life in Color, a visual arts exhibition at the Audi Showroom and Orange Grove Plaza, featuring works by St. Lucian master artists. On April 28th, the stage comes alive at Sandals Grand with 10 to 1, the Mighty Sparrow musical, produced by Raul Gibbons and directed by Louis McWilliams. On May 1st, journey to Ancillary for Fish Friday, an evening of storytelling with George Fish Alphonse and Kidel Sonny. May 2nd and 3rd, experience Triptych, directed by Kendall Hippolyte and Warehouse 11. On Monday 4th, feel the power of poetry at Voices of the Underground, featuring world-renowned dub poet Linton Kwesi Johnson. From May 5th to 7th, Artscape concerts pop up in unexpected spaces, dance, theater, music. And on May 7th and 8th, discover handcrafted treasures at T-Tax ABC, Craft and Souvenir Market. On the Rodney Bay Strip, Art in the City 2026, rooted in culture, bold in expression.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, our question of the day as well as the NewsSpin news of the day. And Janty will have our final update for us. The St. Lucia Electricity Services Limited, LucyLeg, wishes to inform customers that there will be an interruption in the electricity supply on Wednesday, March 25th, 2026. And that's between 11 o'clock in the morning and 2 in the afternoon, affecting Patience, Cooley Town, St. Marie, La Pointe, and Loba. This interruption is necessary to allow LucyLeg to undertake pole and line maintenance in Patience. One report notice coming from LucyLeg. Let's hear now from the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda. Remember, elections are constitutionally due in that island in January of 2028. Listen to him.
So I've asked all of the Labour Party candidates who will contest the next general elections to utilize the next few weeks to go door to door and to get the people out to do the re-registration so that they can have their cards in time for the upcoming general elections. So you know general elections are coming. I think it is known. So I'm also making an appeal to the people of Antigua and Barbuda to do the responsible thing to get re-registered as soon as possible. Because yes, there will be general elections, I would say within 90 days. Wow. And the earlier you go to get your card, the better. So I'm now announcing that general elections will take place within 90 days. And I'm asking my colleagues in particular, the candidates of the Labour Party, to go out on the road for the next 3 weeks in particular, to make sure that we get our supporters registered.
So a whole 1 year and at least 6 months ahead of schedule, general elections will take place over in Antigua sometime between now and June of this year. Just so there from the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown. Good afternoon to you once again, Jante. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon again, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, gas prices are skyrocketing, but the government is not being proactive in announcing energy efficiency measures before these things reach crisis stage. The Kool-Aid is red. When will the Minister of Crime Prevention announce one initiative to address violent crime in St. Lucia? Another YouTube comment reading, the Kool-Aid is indeed red. Facebook, our first comment reads, I've called on the Minister of Sports about running on grass and running without shoes, but yet he wants more jujus and samis. What are you doing, Casimir? Tim, the silence of the murders happening continue to be a concern. Have we heard any statement from the Minister of National Security? Facts, Mr. Bermuda. We have another comment saying, as a government minister, RF should not have any talk show bullying people and insulting women. Why can't PJP, as the Prime Minister, stop Richard Frederick from bullying and insulting people? Well, if not, both Richard and Pierre should take the same door out. Fede is always shaming Allison. The SLP, my SLP neighbor, named her banana tree after PJP. 3 years now and it has not bear, so she had to cut it down yesterday. We have a few comments reading. Vanguard, which 10 people are being investigated towards the end of your tenure? And if you are being replaced, will that investigation continue? I saw a Facebook post that the PM is doing an excellent job. I saw the same post about President Orange. So the operative word here is excellent, is relative. What is excellent for some is subpar for others. And our final comment saying, excellent in destroying the island. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that final update. Our NewsSpin question of the day. The NewsSpin question of the day, it reads, 3 killings between Saturday and Sunday. What's going on? 3 killings between Saturday and Sunday. What's going on? The NewsSpin question of the day. It's on our NewsSpin Facebook page, and I think we have some of your comments there. Finally, the NewsSpin news of the day. It reads, tons of aid flows into Cuba as humanitarian convoy arrives on the struggling island. Tons of aid flows into Cuba as humanitarian convoy arrives on the struggling island. That's the NewsSpin news of the day. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. Don't forget to like the video, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and click the notification bell to help the channel grow. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.